Smart elevators, excessive use of the exclamation point, and somebody's butthurt over the fact that there is a veterans gathering and they weren't included. Yep, it's time for what every cruiser wants. Good Saturday morning, everybody. Chris here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to this week's episode of What Every Cruiser Wants. And we are back. We have 3 new cruise comments for you this week, and we're going to cover a little bit of everything. We're going to talk about smart elevators on cruise ships. Are they good or are they bad? We're going to talk about somebody who clearly has no patience whatsoever, so a whole bunch of exclamation points somehow is going to get your point across. I don't know. And then we're going to talk about the veterans gathering on board cruise ships. Are they not inclusive of everybody out there? Should they be bigger? Should they include more people? I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, though, where do you draw the line? But let's jump into today's comments. Let's find out. Are these people right? Are they wrong? Do you agree or do you disagree? Now, first up today, we're going to talk about smart elevators on board cruise ships. Not every cruise ship has them. It's a thing on some newer cruise ships. In this particular case, we're going to be talking about the Carnival Horizon. And these elevators, they're not real hard to use. They are not complicated to use. However, everybody has to actually use them correctly for the elevators to work correctly. See, how they work is you walk up to the elevator, you say, I want to go to deck 8. Everybody in your party has to also say, I want to go to deck 8. So if you have 4 people, you have to do that 4 times. But what happens is one person out of the group goes up and says deck 8. The elevator comes down thinking one person's going to get on, and then 10 people either try to get on or do get on, which then throws off the entire smart elevator system. See, it's not that the elevators aren't smart. It's some of the people pushing the button that the elevators clearly got beat. And these smart elevators, well, they are not a fan favorite of everybody out there. We have 2 days left of our cruise. DH and I are on the horizon. There is no bigger test of patience in this world than these asinine elevators. Whoever decided to put these on a ship needs to be fired. The crew people have been outstanding. The ship has good food and the vibe has been just what we both needed. We are both pilots for blank airlines. We see little of each other, so this was just what was needed. But John Heald, getting from our room on deck 1 up to the MDR on deck 4 are the entertainment decks and the buffet, has tested our patience to the core. Worst elevators ever. Now, while I get that smart elevators are definitely challenging if everybody is not operating them correctly, in this particular case, they are down on deck number 1, which means when the elevator gets down to deck number 1 to pick them up for them to get on, it's either empty or people are going to get all the way off of it because, well, there's nothing below deck number 1. So in theory, getting on deck number 1 should be relatively easy. Following the directions of the smart elevator should be relatively easy for everyone, especially if you're going to say that you're, airline pilots, because you can figure out how to fly people around in the sky, but you can't figure out how to go up and down. I get where other cruise passengers could be the ones testing their patience. I get if everybody doesn't use the elevators that can test your patience. But I guess at the end of the day, the thing you need to remember is it's smart elevators, not necessarily smart passengers. Next up, we're going to talk about the excessive use of exclamation points in a comment. Now, this is all about Carnival Cruise Line's Zero Proof drink package, something they've recently come out with, something that has turned out to be very popular for them. Carnival has already come out and said, this worked, this is great, y'all loved it. We're going to continue to do this into 2026. We will let you know when it's available on the website to start to purchase for 2026. Everybody might not know that Carnival said that. Everybody might not have done any reading or checking to realize that 2026 Zero Proof Drink Package is not yet available to purchase online. I understand that that's something you really want to purchase for your upcoming cruise. get that. But that doesn't mean you have to write in a comment with the excessive exclamation points in it, acting like this is some absolute dire situation that has to get solved right now. I mean, 2026 is, yeah, just 2 months away, but it's only November and your cruise isn't for 6 months. Why is Cheers Zero Proof is not showing up for purchase for my upcoming cruise in February and April next year? It is something for me being I don't drink alcohol. When is it going to be available to buy? Why has no info been given by you when this will happen? At the very least, tell us the date we can buy it. Less and less people are drinking, so this should be a priority. Look into your crystal ball, John Heald, and tell everyone when this will be online. That is a lot of exclamation points for something that isn't happening tomorrow. That is a lot of exclamation points for something you still have time to get taken care of. Especially when Carnival and Carnival Cruise Line's brand ambassador John Heald have already said, we'll let you know when that's available to purchase. It's not there yet, but it is going to be available for 2026, meaning Carnival hasn't told him, he can't tell you. There's no prediction, it's there, it's going to be next Thursday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, because if he doesn't know that, he's not going to tell you that. Some people just be getting really, really excited in these comments, acting like, by God, if this doesn't get solved in the next 10 minutes, my cruise is ruined. And finally, we're going to talk about the veterans gathering on board cruise ships. And we've seen this type of comment before, and I want to start off by saying that just because a group is not included in the veterans gathering does not mean that they are not important. Doesn't mean they don't deserve recognition. This is simply the way the cruise line has chosen to go. This is the direction they have taken. In this case, Carnival Cruise Lines focuses on military veterans. As a private company, it is their choice to do so. They don't have to. They don't have to do anything for veterans if they don't want to. They choose to. Just like they do with St. Jude's, that's who they choose to go with. So when the cruise line does have a veteran military gathering on board, that's who it's for. And while it would be nice and awesome to include every single person out there, because doesn't everybody deserve to feel important, deserve to feel special, deserve to feel like they've contributed to the planet? Where do you draw the line? When does it get to the point where it's, look, you know what, enough is enough, where it's just stopping altogether? And I do have to say, just from a personal note, as a U.S. veteran, never once did I ever think, man, the discounts and stuff that I could possibly get in the future will totally make it worth it. I don't know a whole lot of veterans that have ever thought that way, but somebody out there does. And it really bothers them that they aren't included. And I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just going to show you what they wrote. So military retired get to win a free cruise. They get a party. They get a bar to drink in. They get special messages. What does Carnival offer police and firefighters and frontline first responders? Nothing is the answer. Nothing. At least we should be part of the raffle. At least we should be on stage with the military veterans. Now, this is one of these comments where I don't know that there is a right or a wrong answer, because I think there's going to be a variety of opinions on this particular subject. And again, police officers, firefighters, first line responders, obviously very, very important people deserving of recognition, the same as military veterans. It just so happens that the gathering is a military veterans gathering. That's what the cruise line has chosen to do. And they do generally announce up there police, firefighters, and frontline responders as well. So again, I don't know that they should be added to the party. I don't know that they shouldn't be added to the party. This is really going to be a question for everybody out there. What do you guys think? Should they be part of the free cruise raffle? Should they be on stage with military veterans? This is a tough one. This one is not an easy one to answer, at least not by me. So I think I'm going to leave this one up to you guys. You guys let me know in the comments below. Is this person right? Is this person wrong? Or I kind of got another one out there just to throw this in your head. See, the majority of people that go into this type of work, your police officers, your firefighters, your military veterans, they don't go into it for the free stuff they might get. They don't go into it and take this job going, huh, I might get in a free cruise raffle someday. That's generally not the mindset of somebody that does this kind of job. So, just one final thought: was this comment even written by a police officer, a firefighter, or a first line responder? I don't know. Something to think about. And that is going to be our video for today. Now, if you've enjoyed today's video, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you haven't done so yet, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It is free to do so. Helps our channel grow. Let you know anytime we put out a new video. Hope everyone out there is having a really great day. And like always, we will see you out on the high seas.